What did you think of Joe Hansen's energy level the other night, and do you think he's finding a spot on that line and getting some chemistry there?
Energy I thought was good. Chemistry, we're going to find out. I think it's there at times, other times they got hemmed in. I don't know if that's a chemistry issue or just not winning enough pucks and staying alive in the ozone. I think that's part of it for that group. Charlie's been real good at that. Whoever's on the right side, whether it's Backes, Wagner, whoever's kind of gone in there, I think that's where they can be better, is hanging on to pucks in the ozone. I think the rush game is good. We saw that earlier in the series with Marcus. It's certainly going to help us in the power play. It's a matter of keeping pucks alive in the ozone.
Do you anticipate correct?
I do.
Do you know who would come out?
Nordstrom. If he's in.
Coach, the other night you had 25 block shots. Is that, this time of the year, is that coaching, or is that just guys sacrificing more at this time of the season?
No, it's just a direct result of how they're playing in the ozone. A lot of low to high. You saw it the other night, Hyman's goal went low to high. Dermott's blocked one of them. I think it's certainly part of their strategy, if you want to use that word, to create offense in the ozone. They get to the front of the net, they get low to high. Our team statistically this year is very good at slot coverage. We tend to win that battle, so I think we've closed down that area pretty well. Matthews got in there a couple times the other night, but for the most part we've been good with that. So I think it's just a product of what they're doing and our guys' willingness to do it. I mean, we've always, that's part of our system of layers for wingers. They collapse low, protect the slot, go out on the D to D, or the low to high or D to D. So it's a product of both. Our guys know that that's part of the job description. Some guys are better than others, just able to front. But for the most part, that is the winger's job in our system, unless you can get out there in a hurry before they shoot.
Coach, what's at this time of year in the playoffs? I know, you're playing so often. You don't want to carry over too much from the other game. You want to isolate each game. But how do you find that balance where you do kind of maintain some momentum and yet isolate at the same time?
Well, we had a 5-2 lead in the third. We liked that part of the game a lot on the road. In the game we were down in the series, we didn't necessarily love the last 9 minutes. They had a strong push. This isn't January where teams are down in the third and they're thinking, okay, we're off to Buffalo, and tomorrow, the next night, it's, if you watch Colorado a couple nights ago, come back from 2 down, St. Louis last night, and you're playing with the last whistle. We have to understand that. I think we do. They just had a good push. So we're going to take the stuff from the last 10 minutes of what we can do better to protect the lead. We want to get in that position again. Some of it is breaking the puck out better, clearly. Some of it is having more ozone time. You do want to manage the puck. I thought we did a terrific job of that the first 10 minutes, how we built the lead, 4-2 to 5-2. So those are the things we take from the previous game. Tonight's take on a life of its own. Obviously, we'd like to take some of what we did in game 2, that energy level, the physicality, the no time, no space kind of mentality into tonight's game. Go from there.
How much will it help having that fourth line reunited crowd?
Well, they were really good all year for us, so Sean is a big part of that. A bit undervalued on paper. He's a guy that can get to loose pucks in our end and get it out of our zone. That's what we missed a little the other night. And he's good at protecting it down low in their zone. So he's certainly a hard guy to get the puck from when he's on. And that complements the Wagners and the Charis that can go to the net and win their puck battles for the second chances when the pucks arrive there. That's what they do well on that line. And that's what Sean does, is he holds it for them and allows some separation. And however it gets in that, whether he shoots it or goes low to high, that's where that line is effective in the ozone. I've always said that. That's why I think they're good in D-zone, because they can play in the ozone. A lot of times they start in our end, they get down to their end. Now we've got to face off. We'll build momentum with Krejci's line coming up, or Berkey's, and they've done a real good job with that, tilting the ice so we get our offensive players out there. And he's hard to play against, Sean. Gets in the way. His last 2 playoffs have been very good offensively. We'd love for that to happen. Most of all, we'd like him to just be able to frustrate the other team's top players, and by having the puck and by checking well, and being hard to play against. So we'll see if they can sort of get that back. I think it's hard. He missed part of the playoffs, but Sean is a guy that never really has a problem with energy. That is, he's a high motor guy. For him, it's going to be the time of the game.
you've had faith in him for a long time, faith, trust, whatever word you want to use. How
You can use both.
Yep, all right, thanks, Coach. But when a player has that in a coach, you know, how does that maybe help his performance?
Well, I assume it's like in every industry, if your boss has faith and trust in you, probably relax a little bit, go out there and do a little more needs to get the job done. I'd like to think we have with all our players, just certain times that doesn't always happen. But with him, I do believe his game doesn't change a lot. That's why the only time with Sean is when he starts not protecting the puck in the ozone and making high seam passes that are off. I would prefer him to hang on to it for those reasons, because he may not realize that, but the guys chasing around the ice are having no fun when that's going on. So that he's taken some of the will out of the other team by doing that, and that's one of his strengths. So, but I suspect that, like I said, he's going to be ready to go. He's well liked by his teammates. He knows what his role is here. He's going to get lots of opportunities to do it. So he's up to the task.
Bruce,
Two more?
Bruce, when Noel's line has been out against their fourth line, has that been maybe more of a challenging matchup than they faced?
It is, because they're quick to pucks and they're playing behind you and they're funneled to the net. And without Sean's, like I said, ability, once he grabs it, he's hard to get it from, because he's up to speed in 2 strides. He's fast. So they were able to expose him in, with the Moore goal in Game 3, and good for them. That's the way playoff hockey goes. Our guys are used to playing against top-end skills, so part of that is they don't want to give up odd man rushes. So they're used to playing against lines that, okay, we've got to really work hard to get back so we don't give them easy chances. The other night it was more of a line that was just chucking around kind of like they do when they're in the zone. So it might have been a little bit new to them from what they're used to in a matchup.
Are you keeping the top 6 the same as Game 4?
Yes.
Was it hard keeping that a secret from us the other day when you were going over it?
Yes, because you know me, I like to tell you what's going on. Listen, you guys know Costas toggled around. And he was with Berge when he scored, and Muzzin was out there, so it just happened to be, they made a mistake. They pitched, they paid the price for it. And good for Costa, he got going. Hopefully builds off it.
Thanks, everyone. We'll open up for